Hey guys, I hope you're doing well. I wanted to jump on and just chat some astrology. Actually, I really wanted to jump on yesterday, the last few days, but I figured I would wait because there's a lot going on and it's actually very interesting, but it's also really intense. And I wanted to see how you guys are doing with these upgrades because while they are mighty, mighty, and there's a lot here that feel free to share your experience the last few days specifically, but there's been a lot that's coming out to be exposed. And this is in a subtle way. It's not so much like, somebody coming out and like saying XYZ. It's a lot of like subtle realization energy where you just sort of see, what really is at play in a certain connection, in a certain relationship, in a certain dynamic, in a certain energy space. And this is obviously, there's the exposure of all kinds of frequencies and all kinds of energies, okay, for better and for so-called worse. Everything is meant to be however it is, but let's clear it. A lot of the karmic energies will be coming to light here. It may be to the point where you're just like, wow, that's really what's going on. Yeah, and I'm hearing it's not me. It's not just me. I'm hearing that as well. So, things that people have been trying to like conceal, have been trying to like kind of treat as, one way when really they feel another way about that conversation. These are the types of things that will become very much obvious. Even in the last few days, it probably has been quite obvious. And so, but I wanted to just check in and see how you guys feel about this, how it does seem for you. There might be some moments where people are feeling, even, let's talk like people who are not really into astrology. They are also, I'm seeing 7-7 right there. They are also, okay, going through these upgrades and shifts, whether or not they're aware of astrology and, even to, let's say, twin flame energies and soulmate energies and, reuniting with a divine counterpart energy, okay, and moving through the karma, moving through the blockages, the shadow work, yeah. They're also going through their karmic shifts, whether or not they see it as that. So there's a lot of triggering energy possibly, right? There's a lot that a lot of people are feeling right now, that a lot of people are going through right now. And so we all process it differently. But just know that, in spirit wants this to be known that, it's not always how it seems, okay, on the surface as well. Somebody may actually be feeling quite a lot, and they may not have an outlet, communicatively for that, or in terms of their expression physically. So I'm also seeing that goes for people you possibly have met recently, or people who you have sort of an ongoing connection with or relationship with. If you're just like, wow, like, why are they kind of acting like that? I don't really understand, like, why they would kind of say that in that way, do that in that way, and not say that thing, and then do that thing. There's a lot that they may not be having, really the words to accompany the emotions for, is the way I'm seeing it. So let's take a look at the astrology. Let's clear the energy and ground. You're obviously going to also be seeing people's true colors around this time. The so-called fight, the galactic so-called war, is kicking. It's alive. It's happening. We're very much in the throes of that, and there are a lot of conversations I'm hearing as well in Astral ongoing. And so I'm seeing this, and I'm getting the message that there is an intensity, okay, of happenings on Astral right now. There's a lot going on, and there are a lot of people who will be seeing also parts of their own story, okay, and yet again, I'm just getting this vision, like, it's not necessarily just light workers, right? People who associate as being, let's say, so-called awakened, okay, to this conversation of ascension and etc., but everyone's going through it. So you could be dealing with someone who's not really following the astrology, not really following, how it is that we're working with this concept in different dimensions. If they're more in, let's say, the 3D realms and planes, they're still having these activations. So, and they may start to have epiphanies. They may start, all of a sudden it's like, wait a second, I kind of feel like that's what's going on in, like, this situation and in my family situation and this and that, and but wait, like, and so it's going to be extremely conflicting for them. They may have a moment where they even need to go a little bit quiet, off the radar, silent is what I'm hearing, because they need to process what is coming up in the conversation. And they may be very triggered. I'm hearing that as well. Just be aware. You know, they may be realizing things about how they have seen themselves, and it's very, very triggering. Okay, this is, yeah, what I'm getting. So it's like, what is not real is falling away. What is not real is falling away naturally, especially given what we have going on with all of these really strong Aquarius energies, and leading into, okay, Pisces next. This is the last bout of the clearing cycles here. We're regenerating. We're getting ready to absolutely turn inside out and regenerate. This is a very strong message for those of you, especially who operate, okay, in this dimension, considering yourself a light worker, okay? Because you're, yeah. But we will talk about this maybe more at another time. Maybe we'll talk more as well on members about this. Definitely we'll do that. We have more members content coming. I have to just upload it. I've had a backlog of videos, so thank you guys so much for your patience. I've also been testing out the new service, the private services, which has been very interesting. So as a heads up, those are almost done, and the last few, okay, private services should dispatch here today. And if you are curious and you wanted to join but it was sold out, then hit the waitlist button and you can get back into that next time I post it. So we'll see you guys. Thank you for your support as well, because it is a new service. So I'm using the deck that I created, and it's sort of experimental, but I'm really eager and really excited to see how we can sort of really develop this as part of the broader conversation when it comes to energy work. So because it is a little bit, it's like a hybrid Oracle tarot deck. So yeah, let me know, guys, though, those of you who have ordered the private service. I know it's a handful at this point, but let me know how it does actually resonate, and I'm excited to sort of see where it goes again on the broader channel. I want to create this deck so that it's published and you guys can work with it as well. So that's the sort of the goal there. But thank you guys for your support. And anything else? Let's clear it. Yeah. This is super karmic energy, you guys, with the Venus conjunct Mars as well. I mean, what we were talking about here is obviously history. We're talking about karma itself, with Saturn ruling both these two planets, Venus and Mars, and it's not the best time to start any kind of new relationships. This is more of a review of the past, especially, and your concepts when it comes to love. Venus here, okay, is also in post-shadow retrograde still until March, so we're still having this frequency, sort of this tide, right? We'll say that takes us backwards rather than forwards. It's not so much of like a let's go out there and like totally explore, like what is really going on, dudes and bros. I don't know exactly what that means for everybody, but you get to take it as you will. It's like, what happened back there maybe a few years ago even? Okay, who was I projecting myself as back there? Was that really what I aligned with? What I felt, comfortable in, or was that something that someone else was projecting that I was picking up on as a frequency of my own? Aha. So let's clear, and it can be applying to this particular, pace, okay, of the Venus in retrograde season, the last few months. Okay, just kind of like, whoa, that was like not me. Like, what in the world was that? Okay, yeah. This is for someone's clear. You can have realizations about what it is that you also want to experience. Now, when it comes to matters of love, especially partnerships, even contracts, how you see yourself operating with businesses. So now for some of you, let's backtrack around, even family, contracts of all kinds. But with the Venus in retro and all of this really strong Saturnian energy when it comes to Venus and Mars, again, I mean, this is more like us having a moment of understanding when it comes to, when in terms of what we attract into our life as well. Venus is about, the receptivity energy, okay, those pleasurable energies of what we're, let's say, and then Mars is what we express, how we are more, let's say, assertive, communicator in matters of relationships. So the give and the take is really coming to a point here, even of clarity. So I would take this time to really observe what comes up. Observe also the behavior of others. Really just sit back and watch. Yeah, not a really great time to also call anything out. I personally would say I would wait until about March. Okay, if you're gonna like really make an absolute decision, wait until March. Right now the movie is still going on. They haven't turned the lights on yet in the theater. You know what I mean? Just, you got your popcorn, you got your whatever else, just kind of like look at how other people, okay, choose their snacks as well in the theater. This is what I'm hearing. So you're going to have your moment, I'm hearing it like this, to have a conversation about that more openly. more down the line. Let's clear the energy around. Yeah. And it is awkward for some. This is cool. We are riding up on Venus and Mars, conjuncting soon with Pluto. So that will be very interesting. Let's take a look at that. What I'm also getting is like people are realizing, okay, where really you're at in the conversation with them, and so it goes both ways, right? I mean, you have realizations, you have moments of epiphany and awakening, but so do others. Again, you may have another way of handling the things that you observe. Okay, others may not be so ready to, and that's okay, right? I mean, that's part of the contract, the soul contract, and that's part of the awakening process. So, but it may be uncomfortable for them, okay? Maybe it's like, oh my God, like, shoot, like, Charlotte was right, or, you know, it's like, wow, I realize, like, this is the truth of the matter, and I kind of haven't really been calling it out like that. Okay, and so they may feel very triggered, especially coming on to this conjunction with Pluto. Let's clear. Yeah, like something, for some of you, I feel like people asserted things in the past and like they couldn't really add up that conversation with their actions, and they're very, very triggered with themselves on that. It's like, I feel like I wasn't honest. I'm hearing that as well. So just be aware, you know, again, I'm hearing like Spirit's giving this warning. This is why we come on and do these astral chats. By the way, this is a Pleiadian message. So yeah, there's no reptilian frequencies here whatsoever. So this is just as a heads up, okay? I don't know, this is needed to be said apparently. Okay, Pluto here conjunct Mars. This is going to be really getting very close around the 28th of February. I believe that is close to the time we have the post-shadow of Mercury in retro. Okay, clearing. I know it's not Mercury retrograde anymore. However, Mercury is still in post-shadow retrograde. So we have to consider this as well. Let's get an exact date on that. I believe it was the 23rd, actually, but let's see. And personally, again, I'm just getting, like, there's a lot of, you know, there could be a lot of drama here when it comes to your social life. If you're really, really getting very social around this time, it might be best to just, I'm talking in terms of light worker energies, especially because you are on, I mean, you're targeted at this time. We have to be honest. Yeah. No, as a light worker right now, with all these karmic energies, we're here on planet Earth to help planet Earth ascend. You're targeted. You are. But it doesn't mean that you're doing something wrong or bad. But you will be feeling the pressure here right now. That's why I'm saying, like, it might not be helpful to, like, think, well, I want to meet someone new, and like, let's see like what happens, you know, maybe I'll like go out and I'll meet, you know, people are not they're still clearing their karma, they're purging, and they're not in the vibe to really be truly receptive and truly honest to what it is that you have to offer as well, is what I'm hearing. And I feel like I said this before in the last few live chats, you know, this is going to be, you know, a time of purging more so, whereas, you know, soulmates, reuniting with real soulmates more in March. Wait until March. Okay, let's get further. I'm also getting that, yeah, okay, well, anyway, so let's continue. You may find that people just, like, kind of want space from you, and it's like, okay, that's fine, good. It's actually better because, you know, you kind of are looking at the energy. You're seeing, like, where, especially if someone just goes off the radar without really, yeah, it's good for you because it gives you the understanding of where they're at on an energy plane. So if someone is disappearing from your life, they're not in resonance. That's this transit during this time of February to March, clearing out of all these Aquarius energies. This is about, yeah, on an energy plane, things getting raw, honest, truthful, real, and just happening. And there's not, and Spirit is, we said it a few months ago, they are vacuuming these cords up. They are clearing the karmic contracts that don't serve you any longer. Absolutely. I'm feeling pressure on the heart chakra and the sacral chakra. Let things just happen. This is what I'm hearing. If they don't want to be involved anymore, goodbye. Okay, we're sweeping it, yeah. Because this is what it is. And until they get honest and brave, Spirit is going to hold you at your standard vibration. And they're not, I'm hearing it like this, like they're not going to let people actually even enter into your space. This is what I'm hearing. Like, they're literally not even allowing it to happen. You may be like, wait, but like, why are we just not even talking anymore? They're just like, they need to just get the move on. You know what I mean? It's what needs to be is what I'm hearing. So your spirit guides are getting kind of savage, I feel, on Astral for a lot of people here. And the more light work that you're doing here, the more you know, very, very particular they're going to be with who they are allowing into your space. I'm hearing Freemasons. Okay, let's just clear the energy now. Yeah. So whatever was involved that was not of the light, they're literally, you got your spirit guides have got the vacuum out with that energy, and they're going to be getting very raw with that, with them as well. So they may be wanting to reach out to you, but it's like they feel like there's something weird that happens every time they're trying to contact you, or there's something like they're not feeling in their vibe anymore. And that's the push where it's like, well, either you're going to ascend because you're not going to be interacting with this person until you're at that vibrational level. Yeah, so it's a good thing, guys. Let it happen. Let the purging happen. Understand who's really, 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 really there for you. Truly there for you. Willing to be brave and honest, okay, to clear the cords and the contracts that do not serve the higher vibrational conversation you can potentially have with them. So it's like kind of an illusion that they're disappearing and they're not there. This is about the elevation point, yeah, to another sort of conversation that we all really want to have, if we're honest. We don't really want to be having that, you know, the whatever the low, I'm hearing the low seed frequency. Let's clear it. No, we're not here for that. Okay, somebody wants to remain in the shadow space. They want to remain in the karmic contract conversation. Goodbye. I'm hearing that. Yeah, this is what your spirit guides are saying. So it's a little bit of like, we're taking the teddy bear away, but because we have a much bigger one for you, and this one is going to be much funner to play with, okay? I'm hearing it like that. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so spirit is just saying, like, trust what's happening right now. It's not random, okay? Yeah, and they're not unfollowing you. Yeah, they're not unfollowing you for no reason. I'm hearing that as well. That might be a message for some, like maybe your followers are dropping. Maybe you have followers even on social media platforms. People are just like disappearing. I mean, and whoever is disappearing from your life, if you're on this channel and you're watching this video right now, it's a good sign, okay? Yeah, it's a blessing in disguise. So let's continue, especially as we have the super karmic conjunction with Venus and Mars. These are people maybe from past lives, okay, past lives, who just, they don't have the right intention with you. But let's clear in the sacral chakra. But there was part of the contract here to interact with them in some way right now. But it's just not, it's not relevant anymore, right? So it's like, are you going to be still, you know, you want to keep the old software on your phone while you are upgrading to the new software? Why? There's nothing nostalgic about that, because it's either this or it's that. And that's the decision we're all making when it comes to the collective journey, right? It's like, am I actually investing in the future of this experience? Or am I going to be looking at who I was? I'm hearing that as well. So, you know, this is about forgiveness as well, and clearing and purging the energies and saying, okay, what was, but it doesn't have to be what will be, right? And you just make peace with that person, and you say, I did what I could. I said it the way I wanted to say it, and I said it how I felt it. And, you know, if you're not in a space to be truly receptive to what I'm offering you, then it's okay. You know, you don't have to be at that point. And again, to step away with a sense of peacefulness, okay? Yes, it's not about being hostile and why didn't they do that and blah, blah. It is what it is, right? Yet again, because we also cannot make the decisions for others. And they have their contracts. Maybe they do want to, they have another lesson to learn. They have another lesson they need to learn, right? Do we know? We don't know. And especially if they're not coming to you and openly offering you communication about that, that should be a real sign. It's like, on some level, I mean, they're really not ready, right? They're really, really not ready. So right now is that moment we'll say, well, we're going to clear it, right? I mean, if it hasn't come forward by this point, personally, I feel like whatever is not present in an open and honest and authentic, vulnerable, raw, transparent way around this Aquarius stellium season, it's trust that it's meant to be released. So that's okay. And there's nothing bad about that, right? We're all dancers and we all have our dance. So, you know, and yeah, so just have gratitude for those experiences as well, and, you know, send light, you know, on their way. Thank you so much for your super chat. Vanna, hello. Thank you so much for tuning in. So yes, this is very exciting. But keep grounded as well during these times. There's a lot of energy thrown around on Astral. I would really keep clearing and grounding your aura. It's kind of like watching, like, you know, like a telenovela, yeah, on an energetic plane, and it's like, yeah, I mean, just try not to get triggered, try not to get too involved, let it just happen, you know, yeah, and the karma is going to be the karma. This is what I'm hearing very strongly from Spirit. Wow, this just came through so clearly. The karma will be the karma. So, And I mean, honestly, I feel that the decisions have already been made. I felt this like 5 months ago when we all made our decisions. We all took the test. Time's up. Put the pencils down. We took the test. We made the decisions for where it is that we wanted to be at in the long-term conversation. There's not really, really, really much that can be done about that at this point, because it's not because it's like, you know, it's not possible, because it's the soul contract. So people have decided on the next phase that they would like to participate in. It's not up to you to change someone's life path. I'm hearing that as well. And so don't get caught up in the drama of, oh my God, why did he choose them? This is not the point. Okay, this is not, yeah. Of course there can be a wave that comes. Someone can come through, hence the karmic cycle. Let's backtrack in the root chakra, the sacral chakra. This man is literally staring up into the window. He's wearing a red hat. He's touching his hat now. He's just like touching his hat with his, and it's clear. Yeah, let them watch you from the perimeter of your life. Okay? Yeah, I know Spirit's saying, let them feel what it feels like to not be with you. Feel what it feels like to need to evolve. Feels what it feels like to have to get to your level, rather than pull you back to get to your level to then manifest something with you. So let people realize the karma that they really have to clear, because if they haven't cleared it by now and they're not coming through in a vulnerable way, they're not ready to do it karmically. They don't see the karma yet. So they have not cleared the karma. So they have another go at that. So don't be upset. It's like, you're going to get upset at the students? No. Some students, they'll get it. Some students, they will take more time to get it. Some you know, so this is where it's really at. And some people are not, the contract may not be to get it. Right? That's where it's important for you as a light worker to also understand, to really understand, who is it that really wants to get it in this lifetime. Some people don't want to get it, not because they're not a good person, not because their soul is not so-called pure and ready for love, okay, to invite the true transcendence and vibration of true love into their world. But it's because that's their soul contract. And so we have to also bid them light, right? I mean, there are all kinds of frequencies here that are involved in the collective process of ascension and you realizing your greatness as well. So some people come in to not be that person. Some person, yeah, but some people will transform over time. So, you know, look with open eyes and say, well, who will be who? Who will be who? Right? What matters is who I always am and who I carry myself out as in this conversation. And the honesty and the truthfulness of that vibration will ensure that you always do attract the highest vibrational match to you. Not stooping down, not looking back and saying, are they ready? Like, will they be, you know, my knight in shining armor, however, my knight is in shining or armorous, whatever it is. Or it, you know, they, but however. This is not the point. Right? This is not the point. But it's important to see, you know, to ask that question. To say, well, are we on the same plane? But when you do realize that something is not communicating, so I'm here communicating. So whoever's not communicating at this time, I feel the throat chakra. Right now it's about the throat chakra. Whatever is closing down, okay, this is like someone maybe realizing, I don't know what I want to say. It's not that they do not know, okay, that there is a free feeling of love as well that they maybe have for you. It's that they're not, it's like they just don't have the language, so they need to learn the language. Yes. So and that's where spirit will be shutting down materialistic connections that are based on superficiality. People will have their throat chakra closed down, people who are not in the light frequency when it comes to the concept of love. So in other words, superficial connections where people were also maybe expressing love in some way but it wasn't really true, they will be cleared. I'm hearing it like this. Let's clear it. Yes, absolutely. And you're going to be wondering, why is this person just like acting so strange all of a sudden? Like they're barely talking, they're getting very silent. That's because, yeah, the language of love is changing. We're not speaking anymore in terms of like, okay, materialism as well, especially. So, you know what I'm saying? Let's clear it down the back. Yeah. So don't feel guilt. There's no guilt to be had. None of that. That is a projected energy, okay? Anybody who makes you feel guilty, that's a frequency they're carrying from someone else. So just don't take it on, you know, just end the karma right there, okay? From like, say, I'm not going to accept your karma, then I'm not going to accept karma, period. I'm a creator, so I'm going to create the next storyline and the wave of this conversation. So it's like, and you have the right to do that, so don't feel guilty for ending a karmic conversation. I'm hearing that as well. Aha, that's a very important point. Oh my god, guys. Oh boy. All right, let's clear it. So what we're talking about here, check it out. You know, how do we say? That is the best thing you can do, okay? It's a conga line of karma. And it's not always obvious. It's not like, oh yeah, like, you know, he kind of went and talked to his mother and then she kind of like gave him like this baton and then now he needs to come and give that to me. He doesn't realize he's doing that. That is, yeah, so that's where you have to also keep clearing your aura to understand very clearly, to be able to have that absolute razor sharp clarity of, is this a karmic conversation that is actually not my own? 1, 2, not even between me and this person, but between them and another person. Let's clear it. Yes, especially with Venus conjunct Mars here and Saturn ruled Capricorn sign with a post-shadow retrograde in Venus. This is all about, holy shit, this is the conversation that was like really originating all the way over there. And now it made its way all the way over here. What is it doing here? Between me and you, right? So some people may not be ready to admit that. Okay, I mean, we're talking like, you know, indirectly, like maybe you're saying, hey, I don't think like, are you dumping like your frustration on me? Are you like putting, you know, your troubles and your pains and your worries on our situation here? You know, what exactly is this going on? They may not like openly, okay, dismiss that. You may not have an actual conversation, okay, like an open conversation, but it is definitely a frequency that is at play. And the more that, you know, yeah, so it's like a matter of, will they really see it? And we're talking on an energy plane and cut the karma? Or are they going to allow that frequency to continue to live through? And it really does come down to their story with themselves. So as a light worker, it's really important to have those boundaries when it comes to clearing your energy field and knowing, again, what does this person really want with me? What are they really wanting to say right now? Is it really them speaking, or also do they have an entity attachment? Okay, that's another thing we have to, yeah. But the way you'll be able to more clearly identify that is by having a clear vision of where you stand on an energy plane with yourself, with your higher self, right? And doing energy work and clearing and boundaries and grounding is really important and absolutely integral to the next conversation, right? That you have even just with yourself. This is what I'm hearing. So, yeah, one thing is our relationships. It's not all about our soul contracts with others. It's also our soul contracts with ourselves. And you with you is just as important. So it's not really, I mean, it's just helpful, right? Your soul contracts and your relationships and matters of love and matters of the heart. It's very important. These are interactions we're having on, you know, in terms of our galactic conversation as well. But it's not everything. So you have to always continue as well in your own story as well, right? Of course. But there are going to be things that are brought up in your relations. But know when to cut that conversation off and continue in your story. So, yeah. Let's clear it. It's interesting. It's interesting. I feel there will be a point. There will be a very clear moment. For some of you, you will be hearing an apology from someone. This is for some. Again, if it is in the contract. Right, Renee. Right. And I'm looking at, yeah, I mean, it's just very interesting. The energy is the energy, will continue regardless. You cannot just, you know, hide energy. And you really, yeah, and that, so that's why it's like very interesting. It's very funny when, you know, people do such things as ghosting, and, you know, that's a very 3D sort of, yeah, way of dealing with the energy space. What I'm talking about is, you know, having a very strong emotion and letting the shadow operate instead of the light. The light doesn't disappear. You're not, yeah. Operating in the shadow does not eliminate the conversation with the light. If anything, it makes it stronger, and it makes it more obvious, actually, and it makes it a more important discussion, okay, but maybe down the line. But first there will be soul contracts and lessons learned by way of that particular, you know, conversation of not putting the light before the darkness, right? Because let's say someone does ghost you. That is fear. It's nothing but a fear frequency. Because there's no reason why somebody should not be in the light to be able to have an open conversation with someone. That's about the throat chakra. So there will be lessons learned in relation to the throat chakra if one is not able to actively communicate. Okay, and the truth of the matter is that we are here from source. So the source of the matter is the frequency of light and love. You're nothing but that. But there's a lot of programming around that, and people will have programming energies around that. So, but it's a choice whether or not they would like to you know, how they want to show up with that. And so yet again, it's their decision. And so they may have to go through a lifetime or two or several. I'm hearing that as well. It doesn't matter really, guys. It's not good. It's not negative. It's not neutral. All right? It is just what it is. They may have to go through certain lifetimes, okay, to really learn the lesson when it comes to the throat chakra. It doesn't mean that they don't feel the light. It means that they are having trouble accessing it when it comes to communication. Okay, wow. So yes. So if somebody, I'm hearing this message, like if somebody ghosted you, it means nothing about you. It means absolutely nothing about your conversation with your higher self. It means nothing about what you love and what you do in your life about what you love. Interesting. Yeah. No, this is absolutely. So, and they will realize they have love. They have love. Okay, we're not talking about people who have boundaries. That's very different from people who ghost. People who ghost, and I'm talking about people who, okay, not like, hey, I just don't feel like this is really like working out, okay? Okay, I'm talking about people who are actively allowing the shadow space to take precedence, okay, in place of the conversation with the light of what they feel for you as a love frequency. It's very different to say, hey, I don't think I'm like at this point in my life right now, and I don't really want to be like in this situation with you, okay? And then it's like, you're still having the conversation, but then we're not really talking about that. I'm talking about those who are, well, that can also be, if somebody does obviously have a lot of love for you and you can just, it's like they're not allowing that frequency in, but they're still showing you that energy on another plane. That is a blocked throat chakra, and that's gonna that doesn't disappear, and that's gonna have to be resolved. Hence the karma. So, it's not a good thing. It's not a good thing, because in the sense of, like, it's not powerful. It's not a powerful energy again, nothing is necessarily good, negative, positive, neutral. Is part of the collective ascension process, but it's not of the light, okay, to not showcase what we feel. I'm hearing it like this. It's not powerful to be like, oh, I'm not letting my emotions get to me, and I'm going to just, focus on, I don't know, whatever it is, guys. Whatever the reason is for why somebody is not openly communicating with you. That's not a powerful space. Okay, ghosting is not a powerful, experience. It's not, and they will learn that, because ultimately what happens is they will take that energy that they express to you, and that will invert to themselves, and they will find their life a living reflection of what they express to you, because it's energy. So what they are giving to themselves and giving to you, it's all sort of the same thing. It's an illusion that they're having a separate conversation with you than they're having with themselves and with others as well. So it kind of will all come down to the same point, and they will have to realize that the hard way, maybe, that we're not separate, okay? Me treating you in a way that is, like, not positive, okay, not loving, okay, is me with myself as well, and they're gonna learn that karmic experience when it does come down to it. Let's clear it. It's inevitable. I'm hearing that. So if somebody is treating you without light and love, okay, for also your journey, and they are trying to sabotage your experience in any capacity, not because that's their frequency, because again, we are all here of source and light. However, they may have entity attachments. They may not be fully available here to tap into the higher frequency plane of love and light. They're going to have an experience with that exact experience with themselves, where it is then mirrored to themselves. Hence why things like voodoo and doing spells is not a positive thing. This is the message that I've been getting for weeks now. Spirit has been wanting to talk about this, because why are we saying, even if it's like, I'm gonna attract like my mate, like, what is that though? No, because why are we saying that someone is separate from ourselves? Whatever you are trying to create with another in that way, it's like you're asking yourself to have that mirrored experience right there. So doesn't that sound kind of redundant and draining? Why not just do you, right? Focus on you. So this is the conversation Spirit wants to have with us, is like, don't drain your force field by treating conversations outside of you as, for better or for worse, putting too much emphasis on others as well, putting too little emphasis on your story, your own story. It's not about like you guys together, okay? And it's not about the union. I'm hearing that as well. It's not about merging. If something is not flowing, it's just not flowing. You're not going to change that conversation. And you don't want to be the thing that changes that conversation as well. Let's just imagine this for a second, okay? Does this really make sense? Like, if you were to do, let's say, a so-called spell, a love spell, let's say, okay, and this is not possible. You attract them. No, you're attracting a frequency, okay, that is going to be a mirror of what you express in that moment, which is the manipulative frequency. You're trying to manipulate maybe someone here to try and come through to you in some way, That is what you will be attracting, not the true love core frequency of that person, which is natural flow. And unless that person is in that flow state, they're not going to show up. So there's nothing that you're doing to change that person's conversation. Now, but you can change your own frequency, and that's what we're talking about. But it's not about, yeah, like, let me, like, attract them. That's bullshit. Because when you do attract them, let's think of it. Do you really... Oh, okay, so now what are you dependent on? Now you got a codependent relationship with what? with what? With something. Period. They came back because of XYZ. That's not realistic, guys. That's not the true frequency of love. That's a barter system. Yeah, that's an exchange. That's a conditional conversation. True love is unconditional. So it's, yeah, and so imagine, I mean, it's just in general even, right? It's like, finally I explained to him that we're lovers, and now it's like he like realizes, and like now we're in the conversation together. It's like, but then aren't you gonna feel like, oh my god, like it wasn't natural. It didn't happen naturally. Okay, it's like there was a reason for that then. No, there's no reason for love. Love is, you just have to observe it. So either they observe it or they don't. You can't observe it for them, right? So honestly, I think a lot of what has been is, I mean, there's a lot that's going on. And some people have been trying to practice they've been really trying to practice voodoo. They try, and it's not that, I mean, the spirit is watching that. They're watching, absolutely, let's clear it down in the third chakra. Spirit is watching that, and that is not a healthy practice. This is what spirit wants to make so clear here. I don't know who this is for. You're going to take it as you will, and this is also a clue. If someone has been trying to practice voodoo on you, okay, you are absolutely, as a light worker, you're completely protected. And if anything, you are an agent to reflect that and to the higher source, because what they tried to do to you, they are being watched absolutely by a higher frequency plane. That's the irony. So that's going to be a bigger conversation. And it's not going to be a good look. No, it's like the teacher who's watching over the students, like cheating on the test. It's like, hi, yeah, hey, oh, hey, no, I'm sorry. Oh, no, you thought oh, honey. Yeah, I know my classroom, okay? Let's clear it. No, yeah, no, who do you think you are? This is no, guys, this is the message. So anyone who has been trying to attract anything with voodoo, that if you were, let's say, even in a conversation where you felt like someone was targeting you with voodoo or however else, you are an agent in that situation. You're not actually, your destiny is not controlled by what someone else, no, the universe does not play on that plane of manipulation frequency. No, it doesn't. And businesses who have been practicing voodoo, I'm hearing this as well, to gain anything, favor, marketing, this is going to be going on. I'm sorry, I have to say it very clearly. Is this spirit wanting to become very clear with this? And I'm sorry if you have been practicing that. Okay, I mean, why are we doing that? This is spirit guide wanting to talk so clearly here. Okay, why are we doing that? And it's not because you're bad. It's because the question is, why are we not feeling the enough flow and transcendence with the true love frequency enough to say, I am enough. I don't need to do anything to manifest my heart space. Because that's all this is. That's all this experience is. It is the heart space. That you are enough. So there's nothing that we need to control and manipulate and all of that. None of that. Yeah, let's clear it. No. And this is not me talking. This is not Natalie talking. I'm channeling. This is a channel dispatch message. So it's not like my opinion. Okay, this is a message that Spirit has been coming through with very strongly in the last few weeks. Okay, they've been bringing my attention to this, and I've been noticing, seeing the energy very clearly. It's becoming very clear who's trying to do voodoo, and even for financial purposes. Yeah. It's happening in a very particular way, in a very particular, with very specific timing. And personally, Spirit has almost been literally holding the flashlight to certain people, to me, certain companies, certain businesses, to make it so obvious, to make it so clear what is actually at play here. And I will say clearly, I do not practice voodoo, I never have. I'm not interested in that at all. No. But for some reason, Spirit has been bringing me into contact repetitively with people who are practicing that. So they're saying, have awareness, have an open mind, maybe you are not doing that, but some people may be trying to do that. And you're wondering, like, why is it that this also feels weird or karmic? Like, we're drawn to each other, there's a weird magnetism, but there isn't like a real heart space and flow space and vulnerability space. Well, and it can be a past life energy as well. Let's clear it. So just trust what is released at this time. Trust what is not happening, not working. Just you know, just take a deep breath, allow the experience to happen, you know, move the energy up into the crown chakra, let it move down to the root chakra, and just give anything else to the universe to transmute. It's not yours to have an understanding with. Why would they do that? Well, why this? No. It's not an experience. It's not an experience you want. You want to have. I'm hearing that ultimately, if it's being released from your reality right now, yeah. So, it's very exciting. Yes. Yes. Yeah. So now, right. So, now what else here? Any other messages here? Let's clear the end. Yeah, and so like those of you who are also like looking on at people like something seems too good to be true, it may be. Okay. Like if it's too, and you know, some people, they're not actively trying to do this, but they're getting like kind of wrapped up in this whole thing, and they're not realizing, okay, that's why it's really important to be in control of your frequency force field, because, you know, even I'm talking about people who are like, they're getting these like little spell kits, like guys, like I don't know what this is, maybe a very specific message for someone. Okay, these spell kits, like, you know, attract abundance to you. But what is the like intention with that, really? And what does abundance represent? And what is money? Like, how is it any different from energy, period? And why is it just not, again, us? Why are we not what we attract? Why are we not seeing it like that, you know? So that's that darker frequency plane of, and I'm not saying that you are dark because let's say you've been curious about something like this at a certain point in time, but it's just, you don't need that. You're higher than that. You are that. So it's like, don't get caught up in the matrix. Yeah, this is the kind of, it's ironic, you know, because there's this new age energy of like, yeah, we're doing like spells. It's like, no, we're not. You are the spell for reincarnating. And so you don't need anything. And so, well, yeah, and that's a very silly if someone is also charging you for that. If they're charging you, this is a very specific message, guys. Let's clear it. It's karmic, guys. Why are you needing to pay to be abundant? That's a huge farce. That is something that is not realistic if we really come down to it in terms of energy. That's the illusion. Let's clear it. And that's the draining energy. When you are so concentrated on, I don't have it yet. I need to have it. I need to do, then you don't need anything. You just are. And that's the truth. Let's clear it. Okay? That is the absolute truth. So it's about reminding you of what always has been, the timelessness of your passion, your attraction, the portal that you are. You are so powerful that when you are in your true frequency space, not like I am a witch and I am a wizard, okay? Not like in the manipulative sense, okay? Then yeah, you're a wizard and a witch because you are incarnating. Period. That's enough. That should be enough. Okay? Yes. So you are so powerful when you are in the highest frequency form where you say, I don't need to manipulate the form that I take on in this conversation. In this place and time, I don't have to become anything to attract anyone, and I don't need anyone to become anything to attract me. To it. Let's clear it. Or period. So 144 people in the room. That is enough. And that's the illusion, unfortunately, that this is a dark energy space. They want you to feel that you do not have enough, that you are not enough, that you do not have the tools in your tool chest yet to be who you really are. To become what you will become when you truly, I mean, it's all frequency, guys. So you don't need anything like, you know, to really become that. And I'm just getting this message from Spirit. It's like something very particular. When it comes to certain, those of you spending a lot of money on, I don't know who this is for, guys. But if you're spending, you know, you're paying someone to do some kind of witchcraft, oh, guys, no. I mean, and that is like, why even get involved in someone else's karma? That's going to get real sticky. And that's just draining you. It's just a drain. Financially, it's a drain. Physically, okay. And anything on an energy plane will manifest physically. So just, yeah, I send love and light to those who have been involved in that, because it's disturbing. It really, I mean, because it disturbs your force field of going outside of, yeah, let's go. With the light, the understanding, it's far from dark. Stephanie says. And it's, you know, I mean, yeah, this is what it is. But love and light, guys. It's not about having fear. And if you did, I mean, just I would just get rid of whatever that is. Like, I would clear it, whatever I'm hearing spell kits. I don't know if like whoever purchased what here. This is someone's spirit guide. They really were like wanting to just make it clear, I guess. But I'm seeing 44 people in the room right there. Especially if this is like something that's like I was never into that, and then all of a sudden like I was like very curious. It's like just yeah, I don't know, because it's like that again. It's taken like basically it's a draining energy space. It's like taking your attention like outside of you, and it's basically placing it on an inanimate object, okay, or something else. So I don't know what that. I'm even hearing something related to sex. I don't know, guys. You're just gonna take it as you will. So keep the energy within yourself, hold the energy space with yourself, okay, regenerate that energy with yourself, have a very sacred and private connection when it comes to also especially your sexual energies. I'm hearing that. I don't know, like someone is maybe wanting to practice sexual magic with you. Oh, I don't know, guys. No. Right off with that. No, guys. I don't know who that is for. Someone is literally trying to okay, so well, we talked about this. Like, be careful who you're connected to on Astral, especially during this time. People who are very low vibration and they're losing their vibration quickly, okay? They're going to try and... They need energy. It's like their oxygen. They don't have any more oxygen. And they know they're going to eliminate it, okay? In terms of the conversation that's happening in terms of, the ascension process. So what are they going to try to do is they're going to try and hook into your aura. So you need to... Oh, this is so clear, guys. And it's on Astral. So, okay... we have to talk about this. How many of you have had people who have tried to hook into your aura on Astral, sexually especially? I'm hearing Machiavellian. Yeah, that's their little game, you guys. Yeah. So sex is very powerful. Sex is a powerful energy space. Sex in, so this protect your energy field. That's your energy vortex. You protect that. So be really aware who you're connecting to, okay, when it comes to sexual matters. This is what I'm hearing. Oh, let's clear in the sacral chakra. So I don't know what that is meaning for absolutely everybody, but that's also why it's like when you have, let's say, a physical experience with one person, you can feel amazing after, and when you have sex with another person, you feel really gross. Because there's something going on an energetic level. So either they're pulling your force field back or they're helping you ascend. Okay, so sex is a very powerful gateway for that. So be aware of who it is that's connecting to you. Yep. I'm hearing Corona. I don't know what that's linked to for everyone there. Let's go. Because I feel like spirit at this point, like I feel like a lot of light workers, they're not having sex. They're being held back from that. Okay, for some, okay, and there's a reason for that. It's not random, but that's one conversation. The other conversation is Astral. So, I would just be really aware, like, who it is that's coming into your energy space, wanting to connect. Yeah, let's clear it. No, they will try to drain your force field. It's not a sexual energy. It's a draining exchange. It can be. That's what their intention is. So you're guided, don't worry, you're protected, but it's not attractive, It's like, oh, here he comes. He's trying to have like a, it was like a whole moment. It's because he's hungry. He's hungry. He doesn't have anything else going on. And he's about to just absolutely get, deleted off of the code, okay? Because we're ascending. So, oh, that's great. I mean, he says, I've dismissed all that on the Astro. So... It's about so especially when you are very strong, very potent, you've got your energies here, your sexual energies, you're fueling that, you're putting that into your creative projects and your creative works, right? Into your creative storylines, and you are regenerating that frequency because that's your energy and you're saving it. It's like, would you just like spend all your money the minute you have your money? No, you wouldn't, right? I mean, unless, I mean, you take it as you will, but it's the same thing. Right? So you want to really preserve your energy field and know who you're giving it to and be very mindful. It's like, are you going to just like close your eyes and like let some stranger on the street like spend your cash for you out of your wallet? It's like, probably not, right? It's the same thing with your sexual energy. It's a resource. That's your resource. Be very aware of who you're giving that to, who you're exchanging that with. Let's clear it. And it's not just that. It's also, when you are physical with someone, you are kind of like giving them your keys, okay, to your astral body as well. Yeah. Okay, so, and you're letting them in to have a conversation with you at other times and places. Let's clear it. So, really clear your energy and your force field if you feel like people are also like really trying to connect with you on that plane, who you've been physical with, especially people who you have already been physical with will have more of that conversation with you, but you can always clear cords. So actively maybe do that, okay, if you feel like people are tugging on your energy field, okay, sexually, especially on astral, and just kind of say that's not appropriate, and who said I want you to come into my space? Like, if we're not in 3D, why are you here on astral? There's no reason why we should be connecting on astral. Yeah, unless you're like doing like an open, honest, transparent, you're having a conversation. Yeah, you're having a conversation with that person openly and honestly. They don't want this message out, because this is the way that they're trying to connect and gain. Yeah, because they're losing the battle, guys, in terms of the galactic conversation. So they're trying to connect with people who have not maybe so great boundaries right now, okay, when it comes to their aura. Let's clear it. But they're coming, yeah. Now for some, yeah, so we were saying, okay, yeah, what were we saying? They wanted to distract from that. Let's clear it. Not that they will. This is a guided message. This is the energy. This is what they're trying to do. They're trying to distract you. But we're saying, yeah, so, yeah, oh my God, right. Right. Yeah, treasure your energy, exactly. Mimi says you gotta save, right, you gotta save the energy for a rainy day. Let me go back to that message there. Yeah. No, we had something going, and then that engine was roaring. They're upset, yeah, because for some of you, they're hooked in the aura. They want to be there, they want to remain, they want to be there. I don't know.
They want to see like what you're really like or something like that.
That's just playing from the Cancer reading. The Cancer last night says this year's Valentine. So let's clear it. I mean, too bad. Oh, we're saying, yeah, why are you not showing up on 3D? There's no reason why you should be showing up on Astral unless you're having an open, transparent conversation. Having one, like, calling them up saying, hey, babe, you want to do Reiki sex? That's very different than somebody hooking into your aura and trying to have sex with you, okay, as a wizard. Let's clear it. That's so different, guys. And it's not romantic, especially if someone is ghosting you, okay? Especially if somebody's ghosting you and then they're trying to hook into your aura on astral. That's a nefarious energy space. They're not making peace with. Yeah, I don't know, guys. Let's clear it. Yeah. They're not ready to, yeah. So, and you're not going to feel good after that. And you'll know. You will know, because you're going to not feel good after that. So see how you feel. Okay? Sexual energy is different than feeling like it is a good vibrational match for you, okay? Because after you have the sex, after you exchange, the karma, I'm hearing that, yeah, because that's what it is. They're trying to put, yeah, the karma in your luggage because they cannot handle it. That's what it's like. Literally, guys, I'm seeing the visual here from Spirit. They are literally, those who are not in the light right now, they are drowning. They're going down. So what's going on? What is holding them down? It's the karma. So what are they going to do? They're going to try and offload that. When you have sex with someone, you exchange that energy. Okay, it's clear as day. That's why you will either feel better or you will feel worse. It's just that simple. It's like, even we'll say not sex, but talking to someone even. You feel good after you're talking to them, or you don't feel so good after you're talking to them. Because you're exchanging the karma. You see? So that's why no one should force you to interact with them. No one should force you to be so-called social. That's a very personal experience, what you want to interact in space of in this dimension at this time as a light worker. Okay? And you should definitely, protect your energy space as a light worker during this time. It's a very karmic period. Okay? No one should be judging you. It's not being social. It's karma. So, yeah, and you have the absolute right. No one should, and this is like an energy rape. I'm sorry, we have to call it out. Yeah, no. You're not going to be telling me I need to interact with you. You're not going to be telling me that we have to make eye contact. You're not going to be telling me that we have to exchange our conversation here. Okay, if I'm not feeling like I want that, let's clear it, that I'm in the light with that. Okay, yeah, no, you know what I'm saying. So this is something that needs to be spoken about because it's very silly and it's not attractive. Oh yeah, connecting on astral. No. Unless, like we said, you're openly talking about what's going on and you are saying we're doing Reiki and you feel better after those moments. Let's clear it. Now, what's happening is, so the karma is too heavy for them. the karma is too heavy, so they're needing, it's like, but they have to go in the other direction where they're not, you see, it's the irony. They need to own their karma, they need to acknowledge it and to carry it themselves. So take it as you will. And they need to transmute it and look at it for what it is. Not dump it on you and blame it on you and bullshit like that. For some of you, I feel like you're having sex with people who are bullying you even. That's, no. Oh God. Let's clear. How many of you are physically active? How many of you are not? I'm just curious. Yeah. Same. Like, spirit has had, well, what is sex? I mean, right? Again, like, it's just different forms, degrees of interaction. Obviously, sex is, like, way more serious. Like, if you're gonna have sex with someone again, your chakras are, especially if you also hit that point, we'll say, it all, you know, and, you know, how often you have sex, etc., etc. But, you know, even interacting with people. But the important thing is to see how you feel, right? It's like, I want to do this. Okay, I don't want to do that. Let's clear it in the third eye, yeah. I feel like that's like, because sex is a very powerful thing. It's not a bad thing. It's not something where it's like, you know, oh, like, we shouldn't exchange conversation, but it's being used in a very dark way where, yeah, and I think, like, a good tip is that something that I'm naturally interested in or I'm naturally attracted to? Now, for those of you who have been physical with someone, and then after that you start, like, craving different things and feeling different things and, like, having different vibes and stuff, I mean, yeah, I think that's really important. You want to do a cleanse and really sort of call your energy back. So, anything else? Let's clear. Yeah, and to call it out. For some reason, I feel there's this stigmatic energy of, like, sex is impressive and sex is powerful. It's not powerful if you have it. It's powerful because it is. It's so yeah, so it's not like, wow, yeah, like, it's very, like, good that we're having sex, like, this is what people are supposed to do. No, let's clear it. Not necessarily. Okay, and yeah, so it's just like, it's everything in a way, again, is sex, but sex for sex is just a more intense and powerful exchange. So that's where it's like, it's not about having more sex the better or being more physical the better. It's like, that's just more exchange. So is it a good exchange for you? If it's good, then great. But if it's not something that you're actually feeling is helping you ascend, and I think yeah, then this is not a good thing. So it's all, like, subjective. It's not like this stereotypical, like, you know, it's very impressive and manly. I'm hearing that. I don't know who this is for. You just take it as you will, love and light. Or it's very, like, yeah, like, I'm seductive. No, it's something is happening in that interaction. Something is being exchanged. It's an illusion that you're just, like, you know, having a sclera. So that needs to be illuminated as well. Big time. And I feel like that's something that hasn't been talked about. Okay, yeah. I'm seeing a truck, it says magnolia. I think that's a type of flower. Let's take a look at that particular message here. Magnolia. There's a symbolism of magnolia. Magnolia Bakery pops up. Yeah, so it's like when you are having sex with somebody or being physical, it's like you're creating something together. It's alchemy, whether or not you realize it. So it's not something lighthearted, like, oh yeah, just in the movies, you know? It's like, we're just like, you know, it's like, no, like, you're creating something with that person. You're doing something there. You're baking a good little cake. And, I mean, whether or not you realize it, I mean, who else is going to be eating it other than you two together, right? So it's like, in other words, be very careful maybe who you get physically involved with. And if you've been physically involved with someone, then you want to really clear your chakras and your cords, and, you know, and the way to do that, you know, sort of, how do we say, track the energy space, okay, and identify what it is that happened there exactly, and bring your energy back into you. Okay, now what is magnolia? Let's see. So it's kind of like this, you know, you give someone cords. you give someone a code, you can always change the password again, and that's what you just need to do. Okay, this is for those of you who want to bring your energy back after you've been physical with someone and you didn't like the exchange. Okay, so I gave you my password. I acknowledge that I have the right to go and change my password because this is my vessel. Yeah, this is, let's clear it. Oh, you guys, I'm seeing so clearly. I'm seeing like little reptilian frequencies like stop at their little heels. Okay, yeah, no, we see you. Let's clear it. I'm checkmate you. You're trying to hack my code. Goodbye. Okay, let's clear it. Let's clear. Oh no, wait, what? Yeah, little wizard. Let's clear it. You're trying to. Yeah, no, I'm seeing it. They're trying to hook into people's auras sexually. Okay, for some of you, it's like, yeah, on Astral. So, clear the cords, clear the cache, delete the history, go back. Okay, yeah. They don't have access to you anymore. And why should they? What is that about? Let's clear the energy. All right. Let's take a look. And I believe that if you're not like brave enough to call something out in a physical, like open way, okay, like openly, and to be brave about it, then it's not like a light frequency. It's a shadow frequency. So, you know, all of these like fetish energies and all of these like things where people cannot tell you direct. I mean, this is just like not. Yeah. That's where we're like, you know, and if you're interacting with someone like that, they're going to be kind of placing those weird incongruences with their own consciousness on you, and then in the physical experience, it's like even worse. I mean, I don't want to say worse for worse, but nothing is necessarily negative, positive, or neutral, but it's just going to be more intensely your karmic conversation with them as well. Like how do we say this? It's going to be more how do we say, like integrated, how do we say? It's gonna be really felt, okay, and it's gonna be karmically encouraged. What? Okay, yeah. You guys are trying to say like that's gonna become something that then you have to. It's because okay, I'm hearing the fetish is actually a remanifestation of an energy that is not shown in the light. Okay, yes, right. So that's karmic, and then it will become your karmic energy. So maybe meditate on that. It may be different for everyone, but I'm saying like where people are like, yeah, I just take my fetish out with you. That's something very much not in the light, you guys. I'm hearing that. And so if they're trying to have that with you, and even if it's like, yeah, you're my little secret, kind of, I'm hearing that, something so specific. If they even tell you that, this is your karma as well then. Because it's like, how do we say? Like, that's not your fetish, but that could be in, let's not say fetish as fetish. Let's say it as like the lack of ability to be transparent, okay? Yeah, the shadow energy ultimately, okay? Yeah, let's call it out, the shadow energy. That's a karmic energy that person is not able to directly address. So then that's gonna be, yeah, like that's not yours, but you will have the conversation about it. So it's like, you're not doing the drugs, but you're dealing the drugs. I'm hearing it like that. Like, I know that sounds really harsh and controversial, but spirit is trying to make the distinct, like, it very obvious. Let's clear it. Like, I'm just, the spirit wants to talk about this. They're like, we gotta talk about this. All these fetishes where, like, even someone is like, I never was able to, like, really have this moment with my mother. Like, I want to have that with you. I'm hearing that. Guys, this is not, like, an attractive sexual energy. This is a shadow energy. And what's happening is you're turning into, like, their karmic obligation. Oh, God. Sorry. Spirit. Yeah, but this is the message. This is the message, guys. This is the message. No, we need to go to the source. We need to identify where that originates from with that person originally. Because the fetish is a remanifestation of that energy. So, I don't know, guys. I don't know what... Maybe someone here you're dating, it's like... They want to, like, obligate you with certain fetishes. I'm hearing that. No, guys. Let's clear it. This is not me talking. It's not like Natalie has her ruler out. No, Natalie does not have no ruler out. Okay? This is, no. This is, I mean, this is the messages from the spirit, guys. Yeah, Andrea, right. They want to hide, right. Thank you, right, exactly. It's entity attachment as well. And so then you're like, why do I feel weird? It's like weird. I feel strange. Like, because they're not really in the light with you. Like, you know, Tantra is very different. Okay, that's what we need to talk about. Maybe we need to start a new channel. We need to start a tantric sex channel. No, I know this is but this is part of it, guys. We need to talk about because the vessel is very important, and what you're doing with your vessel, how you are engaging with others when it comes to your sexual magnetic frequency is very, very key here. Let's clear the energy, backtrack, clear around, yeah. Tantric sex is very different. And Kundalini yoga, right. Very, very, very different. Okay. Very different from yeah, like all of this, like, you know, third degree paradigm. Okay. Yeah, booty call. I'm hearing booty call. Booty call. I'm hearing with the bitches. Let's clear it. No, we don't have time for that. And those are the very people who are feeling they're drowning in this frequency that is like, you know, and they need to like, yeah. Let's clear it. That is they're gonna become obsolete, guys. They are the very ones who are feeling like they're drowning in this conversation of ascension right now. So they're gonna realize that's totally not the point. And they're gonna actually, yeah, it's not attractive. So we wanted to read on magnolias. What is that? The symbol. I know some people will be like, hey, but it's just your frequency. You're not actually, if you're in the light, you will appreciate this message. If you are like, have some kind of entity attachment, then you won't, and that's fine. Then maybe you should unsubscribe, you know? So yeah, we can get the show on the road if you know what I'm saying. So love and light, let's clear the energy backtracking around. And you should have the freedom to call that out. Why should somebody be offended if you are calling out what you would like to engage in the space of an experience? Why? There's nothing about that, okay? No, unless you want to do energy rape. We're not here for that. No, we're not here for that. So everyone is entitled to their vessel and how they wish to exchange, and yeah, let's go and have a frequency conversation, a frequency-based conversation. So I think like the next wave is like Tantra. It's not sex. They're very different, yeah. And Kundalini, yoga even, sexual practices, yeah. Right. So, yeah, let's clear it. So, it's not impressive to have sex just for sex. Doesn't mean anything about you, and it's kind of like the people in high school who think they're very cool, and then, like, you see them years later, and it's like, oh, man. You know, they're not really having, like, a very much empowered conversation here. Okay? Something like that, you know? It's like, I think the new wave is going to be Kundalini, and people will feel it. They'll feel like, are you in the frequency plane? Like, all right. You can feel it when someone is, yeah. It's going to be an attraction to vibration. Not a lusty energy. I think that's going to be phased the fuck out, guys. Let's clear it. I'm being honest. Love and light. Pardon my French. But, yeah. No pun intended. But that's not going to be the point of attraction. Honk honk. Yep. We heard you. We see you. Yeah. It's a very different conversation. La 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 la. And whoever's triggered by that, like, it's fine. You can go and do what you need to do. Go on now. Why are you here? Why are you at the channel? Okay? And if you are having trouble with this and you've got an entity attachment or you've been physical and you can't get, you go clear your cords. Definitely. Work with a Reiki specialist maybe. Always, but take it as you will. Definitely take it as you will, and you do what you feel you need to do. Maybe it is meant that you need to be in that frequency. I mean, who knows, right? No one can tell you. But I'm talking to light workers here who are in an ascension process, who are really working on their ascension. And they are, yeah. So I feel like we got different people watching, but you gotta take it as you will. Hopefully this is inspiring, you know? Now, yeah, because what Spirit is giving this vision of, like, you're actually you can create things with so-called sex. And it should be something that is so intentional because it's so powerful. You can create amazing things. So why not be so intentional in that space and create amazing things, right? Let me see. Magnolia tree. I'm seeing the number 26 here. And you know what? It may be that, like, you just, like, decide, like, I don't want to have sex with this person anymore. Maybe you have been physical and you just, it's just like, I don't want to just be physical anymore, you know? It's just, you taste it changing, like. What I'm also hearing is, like, the context in which you're having sex. It's kind of interesting. Maybe I'll start a new channel. I'll talk about all of this. Maybe we'll do that. Like, we'll literally talk about, like, all of the involvements when it comes to that. Yeah, I'm seeing 26 everywhere here. The time is 2:06, 26% battery on my computer. on my iPad, actually. Okay, so it says, the incredible symbolism of the magnolia tree. Let's take a look. With its majestic form and creamy white flowers, the magnolia tree has been a favorite across cultures for centuries. Admittedly, we didn't even know the power of the magnolia tree before we began planting them. Let's take a look. Okay. In the Chinese culture, the magnolia tree symbolizes purity and nobility. The tree was also known for its healing powers because in traditional Chinese medicine, magnolia bark was used as a sleep aid. In Japan, the magnolia flower is called hana kotaba. In the Japanese system of flower meanings, hana kotaba means that the honk out there, that the magnolia flower represents a love for nature, nobility, perseverance, and dignity. Now, what I'm also getting... Interesting. It says, yeah, so for some of you have someone coming in who you will really be sharing a very, very powerful union with. Okay, when it comes specifically to sexual, so-called magic, okay? But I'm hearing Tantra. So, like, you're gonna be, especially those of you who have not been having sex, like, your energy force field is getting very much like strong here, and there's a reason for that. Yes. And what I'm also getting here for some of you, there's a question of, you know, how do we say, let's backtrack, climb around. Yeah. Okay, 1 second, let's go. Yeah, it's where you're going. So when you're having sex with someone, where is that going? Where do you feel you're going to? Do you feel random and like afterwards you're just like, who was that and who is this and what are we doing? Like, you know, what is the direction? Okay, there's a question of that. I'm seeing 888 here. For some of you, I really see that you will be having someone come into your life. You're going to have a very powerful sexual chemistry with them, but it's going to be something with a different content. Like, it's going to be very, how do we say, there's a conversation happening on another plane when it comes to that conversation of sexual energies. Wait, what? Okay, well, yeah, there is like something that you are creating with them, and that's going to be very attractive. So I don't know how many of you have experienced, okay, even like, let's say, tantric or something like, even like Reiki, okay, when it comes to sexual energies, but that can be even more powerful than actual physical and 3D sex. So for some of you, I mean, the connection can be so strong, hence why you can like be physical with someone but not really feel, you know, like really satisfied, if you know what I'm saying. And hence you can even feel not satisfied after. So, and you can feel even, again, like it's like, wow, I felt better before, you know? So Spirit is saying like it is going to be something of a broader conversation that's had. Your perspective maybe on sex and sexual interactions will change. Let's backtrack around. Yeah, your aura is going to change, and who you attract sexually, so-called, is going to change. Your tastes are going to change when it comes to such things, possibly. But take it as you will, see how you feel, you know? Reflect on this message and see, like, you know, is it something that you've been feeling? It's clear. Yeah, I feel like it's your perspective. The perspective is going to transform in terms of what you appreciate about the physical experience. Wow. It's going to have more meaning. Yeah. Definitely. And it's not something that's like negative or positive. It's the intention. It's not like, again, sex is a bad thing. It's that it's the intention with which we're looking at it, right? So, and is it something that we really want? And that question truly has to be answered in a mind, body, soul way, where we say, does my spirit want this? If so, why? Or is it just my so-called body? Or is it just that I'm tapping into the projected energy of what someone else is wanting, right? Yeah. Because I feel like with true Tantra, you both are on the same page with that, and you're both focused, and you know what you're doing and why. There's nothing like random and like astral about that, you know? Yeah. You're very much having a conversation, and that's the point, that there's a conversation. It's not just like a physical blubber, you know, bodies on bodies kind of moment, right? And probably as a light worker, you know, you probably didn't enjoy so-called regular sex very much anyways. Like, even if you, I mean, feel free to counter this, like, feel free to share it in the comments, like, there's this question of like, what? What is like the point of that, you know? What is the, yeah. And again, sometimes you feel like less satisfied. I'm hearing that. So it's a very specific message. Take it as you will, guys. Anything else? Let's clear it. Of course, there's like the psychological side to this, but then there's also like the energetic side to this. So yes, like having an understanding on an energetic level of what you're creating in that moment, but also psychologically. So I mean, obviously things like not even knowing who you're with, just kind of having a physical, like, you know, moment, like a one night stand energy, or however you want to call it. I'm not saying that that's bad. If it, again, it's all the intention, but the more random it is, the less it will be satisfying, is what I'm hearing, because then you're not fully in that moment, and you're not fully in that experience. And it's probably a karmic interaction, right? The karmic energies in that interaction are going to be what you're mostly feeling if there isn't enough transparency. So I'm hearing that tantric will be something that is less of a karmic exchange and more of a creative energy space, which is more moving into the north node energies rather than the south node. So yeah, but I feel like this is something, yeah, right, BD, right. And like for the collective, BD says healing sex. That's right. Like for the collective, where you're not looking at, and that's why the fetish energy is so inappropriate in a way. And I know that that might be triggering, but let's think about it. Like, yeah, I'm concealing this from the whole wide world. It's like, why we're not one with all. If we know that that would hurt someone else as well, why are we doing that? You know what I'm saying? Like, why are we attracted to that? Like, we should be proud. We should be proud of what we are exchanging with that person. Otherwise, it's an entity attachment. It's not even you. That's not even your fetish. That's what Spirit wants to make clear, is that that's an entity attachment of a fear space mentality as well. Okay, so of a let's clear it. And that's also why things like pornography is not in the light, guys, and we talked about that in the Libra reading, and I know that's also triggering. But if you got such an attachment and you got such an entity frequency attachment that you're so triggered by that, then it is, yeah, I mean, then that, you know, I'm not sorry, that's gotta go. Yeah, that's also not, yeah, I mean, create art with the person that you're with. Okay, and people who get off on like something secretive and like, yeah, and like I'm doing this behind your back, all of that nonsense, and the people commissioning that and the people involved, let's clear it. It's like making like so-called like an artistic video for someone you're with is very different, okay, than putting a video on an intranet site that you don't know who is watching, you don't know who the fuck you're connecting to, okay? Do you know who is watching your content? That's like saying, I'm gonna put the drugs on the street, and I don't, maybe a little kid can come by and have, I don't give a fuck. Okay, so what if, yeah, literally, no, let's think about it. You're making a sexual video, sexual content, you're putting it online. Do you know who is watching that? Maybe it's a man. Maybe there's a man out there getting off on the fact that he's not with his wife. So what are you doing in that karmic contract right there? What's going on right there? You're involved in that karmic contract, okay? So that's karmic. That's karmic right there. And that needs to be seen so clearly. People who are like, oh, it's art. It's not art. No, it's a karmic contract, and you're getting involved in someone else's karma as well. And that's not you wanting to do that, by the way. That's you tapping into their entity frequency Let's clear. You don't want to be doing that for that guy. Let's clear. You don't want that. That's not the heart space centered conversation that you're having. It's not sexual. It's an entity attachment. It's fear. So be aware of who you're giving yourself to online. Be very aware who you're expressing yourself to in certain ways. Okay, and so love and light to everyone. I mean, let's clear the energy. Oh my God, in the heart chakra. But that needs to be called out so hardcore. And people who defend that, they have some major clearing to do, extreme clearing to do. Yeah. Maybe they feel they're getting their power from that. Well, that's not a positive exchange. It's going to be draining, and it's going to manifest physically in the physical body over time, because energy does not disappear. What is happening on an energy plane will manifest physically. So if anybody does have addictions, it's going to manifest physically in terms of the chakra, where that energy is not able to come through naturally. So you guys, thank you for tuning in. We'll see you in the next videos. Love and light, guys. Stay grounded. Be really, really strong during these times. We're going to have a lot of clearing here. Speak your personal truth. Like, be brave with that. There will be people who don't understand it, who get triggered, who don't understand you, and that's okay. And Spirit's going to be removing them from your life. Okay? I'm hearing it like that as well. At least the one that you're consciously operating in. Okay? Let them remain in the shadow. Let them remain in the mystery space. I'm hearing that as well, of who they are to you and who you are to them. Let them remain in the astral projected state. Let them linger. Okay? Let them, yeah, let's clear it. Yeah. Let them be a memory. I'm hearing that. They're not brave enough to be more than nostalgia to themselves with you, then let's backtrack. Oh, let's clear it in the throat chakra. Let's backtrack, clear around. Yeah, somebody, I feel for some of you, you have people who are trapped and they're attracted to you. They love you, but they're not strong enough with the entity attachment frequencies to clear those frequencies to reunite with you. And they want to tell you that is really, really, that's hard for them. But maybe, yeah, it's hard for them to accept maybe that they've made certain decisions, or let's clear that they're having a complicated story when it comes to that, or that they're having a challenging time with that, with clearing those entities. It's not really what you're seeing. It's a lot more to the story on even an energetic level. And maybe at some point I wanted to do this, like, where we'll do like what they want to tell you, but they're not able to tell you, but a more expanded version, like kind of like as a letter form. Yeah, so maybe we'll do that as a pick a card eventually, but it's clear. Because there's always more going on beneath the surface, right? Regardless of what the situation is, if somebody is not talking to you, or, so. And this is a channel message, by the way. This is not just like, I'm not, like, I know we've been talking for a while, but I'm channeling the messages here, just trying to get the messages out. If it's too much energy and flow for you, don't worry, you can check out, no problem, but these are whoever's tuning in now, these are something that someone needs to hear, so we're channeling here. This is the point. Let's see. It's clear. Yeah, I'm also hearing that someone feels like they're mean to you. They don't want to be mean to you. They're having trouble, okay, being really clear with you on where they stand emotionally with themselves. We'll get into this in yeah. Oh, but actually, guys, I do have a pick a card coming. It is about to upload, and let's see. Yeah, it's like, pick a card, what their deepest emotions are, but yeah, we have more coming. So you guys, love and light, we'll see you later.